I'm David Rockwell, and I'm the set designer for On the 20th Century. On the 20th Century was a thrilling, challenging adventure for many reasons. One of the reasons is it very much demands the set participate to be a real character in the show. In some ways, it's based on one of the great periods of American design, the mid-1930s and Art Deco, and the transition to streamlined modern. And I think the stereotype is lots of chrome. And as we got into the research, I was fascinated to see the use of very rich metals, chrome, brass, gold. Certainly as New Yorkers, we're familiar with Radio City Music Hall, the Empire State Building, beautiful deco grills. And then we started to look at some of the pattern making that was much more streamlined. In fact, these became very informative for us and the basis of a lot of the pattern making of the wallpaper. I was also really intrigued by the forced perspective that many of the posters from that period suggested, which in some ways makes sense because it suggests speed and forward momentum. And of course, the 20th century was the ultimate way to travel in luxury until planes started to come along. Look at these incredible posters from the period, which all suggest not just one straight across piece, but something that is very much about movement. The musical demands that the train do all kinds of things. So our train comes down stage, it rotates, it moves left, right, it really dances, and then it has to go away. Like any project, we immerse ourselves in research. We immersed ourselves in research about the train, the period, the posters from the period, the graphics from the period were incredible, what was going on in the train. But that dynamism, that forced perspective really excited me, and I think excited the rest of the creative team, and gave birth to the show curtain, which has several beams of light, and one of the beams of light becomes a train moving horizontally, and then that opens up to LaSalle Station, or our version of where the train starts in Chicago, where you get to see the outside of that train in very high gloss blue and gray, which was not only the 20th century limited colors, but the colors of New York. You can start to see here the use of silver and bronze and gold in these three beams of light, and then the fourth one that becomes the train. So once we start to work out the blocking and the movement, which was very complicated in this particular scene, we made more detailed models of each of the cars. And part of the reason for doing this is to not only work out the geometry, but work out the detail of the base, work out the detail of this high gloss reflective edge. As you can see on each one of these rooms, there's a band of light at the top, there are light fixtures, there's high gloss material, there's a step up, there is the bathroom that Oscar Jaffe uses throughout the show, very important. And then many of these models are finished on both sides, so you can see the outside and the inside. As you delve deeper into the set, there's a level of detail that you have to do for this show. I think to convey that sense of opulence, magazine racks, shelves, glasses, smoked glasses, even the chairs that sit on a hydraulic base that come up and down have chrome trim around the three bands of trim. And I think it's the net sum of all that detail that comes from the same point of view, because it also is right in the audience's face. It is all about style and energy and joy. It's a kind of joyride. So when an audience member comes in, hopefully they get in the mood, and I think it celebrates a period in time, both when the show was written and when the train existed, that are quintessential New York, kind of American musical comedy experiences.